Hello guys, it's Mr. G again. How are you? Yeah? It's nice to see you're doing well. Thank you, I had a great day. So, now it's time for us to start teaching. In today's lesson, we're going to do a little bit more technology-enhanced teaching, but this time we're going to focus on our reading and writing. Reading and writing. So, can someone tell me what we did last week? What was the book that we were reading? Yes. The Outsiders. Perfect. So, we're going to do something very similar to that, except we're going to focus on a different book. So, for your materials, I'd like you to take out The Hatchet by Gary Polson. It's a wonderful book about two people who are stranded in the forest. And what do you think they have? A hatchet. And to include some technology, I'd like you to take out your Google Slides, because I have a presentation template for you. I'll see you guys in the lesson objectives. So, today's lesson objectives, we're going to go over 3 things today. I already told you what book we're going to read, The Hatchet. And just like The Outsiders, I want you to find the main idea and supporting details inside The Hatchet. We're not going to read the entire book, but only the first few chapters. And we're going to read them consecutively with The Outsiders. 2, at the end of this, you'll be able to write a clear paragraph about this chapter, using the main idea and supporting details to back up your claim. And 3, to include a little bit of technology, we're going to use our Google Slides to create a smaller presentation of the events. I'll see you then for our warm-up. So, now we can move on to our warm-up. I'm going to start off with this one question that I'd like to answer. If you were stranded in the wild, what's one thing you'd want with you? Go and discuss with your neighbors for a moment. I want to give you 20 seconds. It was great to see this great group discussion. So I'm going to ask the question again. If you were stranded in the wild, what is one thing you'd want with you? Yes. Oh, one thing. Make sure to back up your answer with a real statement.
An Apple Watch.
An Apple
Why,
Watch?
you ask? Because, let's say, what if I get lost in general, of course? I want someone to find me, of course, or I can call someone for help. Or these watches nowadays, they contain trackers, right? So people can find me if I activate it as well, too.
That's perfect. That was a wonderful reason. Is there someone else? Let's do at least 3 before we go. Yes.
A water filter.
A water filter. Why? That's a great reason, but you have to back it up.
Well, plain and simple. Bare bones. Helps me filter out dirty water so I can basically drink water in general, though, so.
That's wonderful, guys. So that was very close to what our book will be about. And after this, you'll be able to identify the supporting details and write their paragraph using Google Slides. I want you guys to make sure that you can get this done. So now that we've moved on to our guided practice, I'm going to show you the slide template that I made. So I want you to open your Google Slides, and we're going to move on to the TV so I can show you what I expect for your presentations. And may I remind you, I will divide you into groups of 4. Different groups from The Outsiders. And once you're done, you guys can work on this together. I'll see you at the TV. Welcome back. We're here with our technology, the TV. So this is how I'd like you to write down your presentation. It should look a little something like this. In fact, you can borrow this template, as I will give it to you for everyone access. In your groups of 4, I want you to start off with putting your member names here, right? And you will each focus on a chapter. Just like with The Outsiders, we read chapter 1 together. I'd like you to read chapters 2 through 5. And and each one of you will be assigned a chapter to work on. And this is how I want the template to look like. X will be the chapter that you're focusing on, and it must include 3 to 4 sentences. It must state the main idea and 3 details that occurred that support it. Once you're done figuring it out, you can come to me for review, and I'll be there to guide you. And right after that, you have to create a summary for all the information that you've done. So each member should have 2 slides to work on. And make sure to put your member name on the bottom. And for our final assignment, which I won't state yet, we have a personal narrative. But first, let's move on to our independent practice. So, now that I've shown you how to make a presentation using the template I provided, it's now your turn. Now that we're done with our guided practice, we're moving on to our independent practice. This is now your turn to do it. Use the main idea of the chapter and the 3 supporting details that support your claim. So let's review what we have to do. There's groups of 4. How many chapters do we have to read?
4 chapters.
4 chapters, yes. So another question is, let me think, which chapters are they? Yes.
2 to 5.
2 to 5. It's perfect. And the final one. How many slides does each member have to do? Can someone tell me?
Ooh.
Yes.
2.
2 slides each. That's perfect. And once you're done, we'll do one final assessment. We'll move on to the screen. Now we've moved on to the final assessment for the day. Once you're done with your 2 slides consisting of the main idea and 3 supporting details, I'd like you to write a personal narrative as extra 2 slides for each member. It must include at least 4 to 5 sentences. That's around 1 paragraph. And I want you to do at least 2 to describe a similar experience that you had that reminds you of the hatchet. Imagine a time that you got lost in the woods, in the mall, even in the grocery store. What did you do? Where'd you go? How did the problem get solved? Those are the elements that this must include. And once you're done, I'd like you to write a small reflection of the experience. Could be 2 to 3 sentences of what you learned and how you'll never do that again. And once you're done, you can show this to me and we can present it to the class. I'll see you all next week.